Hi everyone, we're at AireCon 2025. Every single time we come to one of these conventions, we say we're going to swing by and chat to Hachette Games.
And you're here.
And we're here finally.
Guys,
We've done
it's
it.
happening.
We've actually done it.
Yeah.
How's the weekend been for you, Rob?
Oh, busy.
Sunday morning.
You might be able to hear my voice is getting husky. I'm holding on. Everything's okay, but taught lots of games, shown lots of people lots of games.
Yeah.
We ran a scout tournament on Friday. We had a little bit of chaos because we packed a few too many scouts, which means we had to kind of rally the people. Scouts appeared out of everywhere, so it was great. It worked. We did the tournament, everything was good. But yeah, we're showcasing lots of new stuff today and over the weekend. At the moment, we've got some chaos going on. We've got a discount sale where you can roll a D20.
Oh, I saw your Instagram post on that this morning.
Yeah. So that's very exciting. But yeah, and a few classics have come out of the woodwork again to show themselves. So yeah.
And Flav is well dressed as usual.
Of course, the Pac-Man suit. I can give a teaser. He's got a new suit for UKGE.
Nice.
You might not see the Pac-Man suit at UKGE. We have a little game called MicroMacro that has come into our distribution, and there may well be a little suit that's related to that. So that's a spoiler for everyone.
Is he going to be
exclusive,
really
if anything? He's he's got. You can solve MicroMacro cases. On his suit, if you want to.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be something to look forward to. Right, let's talk games.
Okay. So we're starting with something big.
Yes.
We've got Gwent here. Matt, do you know Gwent?
I do. I'm a big Witcher fan.
Big Witcher fan. Okay. Good. So Gwent, after 10 years in the making, is finally coming to physical tabletops.
Yeah.
And this is the full set from The Witcher 3.
Okay.
Do you mind if I just grab? Thank you there. So this is the full set from The Witcher 3, all 430 odd cards that you'll find in the game. It comes with a playmat, but excitingly, it also comes with a range of extra modes. Extra modes as well. So we've got a solo mode that's been built into this.
Okay.
There's an up to 5-player mode, so you can play 5-player Gwent. So Gwent is traditionally a 1v1.
Yep. And
it's also now got a 2v2 team mode as well, which is cool. So tournament rules as well to kind of refine your decks for stricter kind of tournament rule settings. But for those who don't know, Gwent is kind of a card battler. It's a dual game. You play cards into various lanes that you can see here. So we have a melee lane, a range lane, and a siege or an artillery lane here. We have 5 different factions. You build a deck out of those factions of around 30 cards and play them into those lanes, tot up your strength, and over the course of a couple of rounds or up to 3 rounds, you decide upon a winner. One of the key hooks is, despite building a deck of 30 cards, you will only actually get to draw 10 of them over the course of the game, barring special abilities. So you have to make a wise choice as to when you pass over the course of a round and let your opponent just have free run of maybe attacking you, because you need to hold on to some cards, as it were. So we've also got some lovely foil cards.
Oh, let's look at these.
We can, what we can do live, Matt, is give you guys one of these. So, Matt, who's your favourite faction?
Is it Nilfgaard?
Nilfgaard, okay. Yeah. So we've got a couple of Nilfgaard ones there, which I think is that one? No, it's this one here. So Nilfgaard, got a couple of Nilfgaards. There we go. So that's for you. You got Geralt.
I got Geralt.
That's like the one ring in, that will be worth millions of bucks.
I was going to say it's not worth $2.5 million, is it?
Not yet. Maybe one day. Keep it in your attic.
Yeah.
But yes, so that is Gwent. This will be coming out in September this year. We'll have a heavier presence of it at UKG this year. I know you guys will be there, so I'll be able to show you more. We're running a tournament at the UK Games Expo.
Oh, amazing.
First Gwent tournament in the UK.
I bet we install the game and get
practicing. So yeah, it's very, very exciting. And there'll also be, I should say as well, upgraded stuff like neoprene mats.
Oh, nice.
Faction-specific sleeves for your decks as well. So extra goodies you can buy. But the core box with all of that content comes in at just £44. So very reasonably priced.
The only thing I'll request is when we're at UKGE, have a speaker with the Gwent music playing constantly.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Someone needs to dress as Geralt.
Oh yeah.
Someone needs to dress as Roach.
Yes.
Someone needs to be the horse.
Yeah.
You know? Or 2 people, that classic pantomime style thing. That's, I think, what we need. But so the next game we've got here is Kanal. Some of you might recognize this because it was actually previously published as a Rainienberger Kanal. It was on GameFound, I believe. This is an Uwe Rosenberg game. So for those who know things like Agricola, Noosefjord, Feast for Odin, this is another in his line. It feels similar to Uwe Rosenberg games that you may know and love. And In this, it's strictly 1 to 2 player. So it's got a great solo mode, but also a 2-player mode as well. You are sort of building out a small kind of 1800s era Germany, Industrial Revolution type of era.
Yeah.
You're building out a collection of buildings on a 3x4 grid. And then you can also place paths around it of various types. And the way the game, in essence, works is that you activate those buildings when they're surrounded by different kinds of paths. Right. Different kinds of paths will cause different effects. One of the other key hooks is the guys here are playing Deck A. And there is about somewhere around 50 cards just in Deck A, and you'll see about 20 or so in the game, or around 25. There's Deck B, C, D, E, and F. So you've got plenty of variability in the box, loads of different stuff. Little rule books for each one. They all function very differently. You've got the classic Rosenberg resource wheel. People know that from games like Black Forest. It's in Glass Road as well. But yeah, the Rosenberg resource wheel is making a reappearance. And it's an innovative little way of tracking the resources and upgrading them. So yeah, that's Kanal coming again later this year, around sort of August, I believe.
Okay,
cool. Yeah. Cyclades Legendary Edition. So this is a game that is about 15 years old at this point.
Yeah.
The original Cyclades came out in around 2010. This is the updated new edition. And there's a lovely phrasing. I've never seen this used before in a game, director's cut, which I think is quite a nice way of putting it. So what they've done is taken the original Cyclades and the expansions and kind of honed it down a little bit, refined elements, pushed some of the best expansion content into the core box so it's ready to play. You've got all the good stuff there, whilst taking out some of the modules in the expansions that were less popular. And they've added a few quality of life features here as well. So you have a modular map, so you can see like that. The original Cyclades was just a printed board.
Yes.
But the essence of the game, this is actually a bidding game, believe it or not. It's an area control bidding game. So has lots of the kind of classic area control type stuff. You're trying to take over these metropolises. Here, the moment someone takes 3 metropolises and ends the round, they win the game. So, but unlike other area control games, you don't have actions like move and attack, or at least you don't get them freely. You can't do that on your turn unless you win the favor of a god. So there's a bidding section of the game where you'll be trying to earn the favor of a particular god. If you pay enough money effectively or enough resources to that god, you'll get that and you'll be able to use the actions related to it. Right. So there's a lot of the game is about is still doing some of that classic area control stuff, but you need to actually earn the actions from the gods first to be able to do what you need to do. So cool. It's a very different way of playing. We've got the miniatures here for the first time as well.
Yeah, these look amazing.
So this has been kickstarted, but it's also coming to retail. And the retail, you'll be able to buy the miniatures and an optional upgrade as well. So, and that's launching pretty much next week. So. Yeah, we're giving out the first copies here at AireCon, so cool. Yeah.
Cyclades I played one game of 10 years ago. I won it, and then I've never played it. I just want to maintain that.
You've got a natural talent. It's time to get back in. It's time to get back in and give it another shot. Yeah. Do you remember the original well?
Vaguely. Yeah. It's been a while. But I remember the original board and everything, so I do like the new, quality of life.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Absolutely. No, it's a lovely game, and this is I'd say in about a week's time, this will be widely available.
Yeah.
So,
let's keep going.
You've seen Shackleton Base?
Not yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This was kind of one of our hottest games of last year. Certainly our hottest heavy game. This has just won a number of awards, including the Expert Gamers Awards. So this is a design by a team of guys called Fabio Lopiano and Nestore Mangone. Fabio is famous for games like Sancore, Merv. Nestore is most famous for Darwin's Journey, which you may know.
Yes, Karen's got that.
Yes, so nice heavy, 2 heavyweight Euro experts coming together for this design. And what this is the way I put this game is you're effectively a researcher, a PhD student or whatever, and you're a researcher who's looking at the deepest crater, or the biggest crater on the moon, which is the Shackleton crater. It's a real thing. However, much like real life and education, your trips and your work on the moon is funded by corporations like Amazon and Virgin Galactic and things like that. So you have to spend some time kind of appeasing the corporations and working with them to make sure you can continue your work in the research. So you kind of score points for your research work, but you sort of need to work with the corporations to keep your economy going, as it were.
Yeah.
It has systems. It's a very interactive heavy Euro, so you have worker placement at its core, but that kind of then at the end of the round, the way the workers are placed also ends up having an area control element.
Yeah.
So the area control then allows you to seize workers to put into your personal board, which are the buildings you've put out into the game, to have them work effectively and give you passive bonuses through the rest of the game. So lots of interconnecting systems. The coolest thing about the game is the corporation system. And what that does is there are 7 corporations in the box. You put 3 of them into the game and they vary the game pretty wildly. I would say they make up roughly the corporations collectively make up roughly 40 to 50% of the game.
Oh, okay.
So by just changing those corporations around, you have a really varied, different set of conditions and play. And yeah, it's one of those things where 7 are in the box. Someone did the maths for me, 35 different ways you can vary those up just in the kind of core game, and there are going to be expansions coming with further ones. We've had people actually make custom ones as well, so there are custom corporations available to download from BoardGame Geek and things like that.
Amazing.
But that's the kind of real key hook of the system. Yeah,
That's awesome.
taking you guys over to the 2-player section that we've got here at AireCon this year. There's 4 brand new 2-player games that we've got on show, and I'll go through these nice and quickly.
Yep.
So we've got Architects of Amytis, and Architects of Amytis is a game of, I like to call this tic-tac-toe on steroids, or noughts and crosses on steroids, because what you're doing is you've got a tableau of buildings that you're putting out.
Yep.
To draft the buildings, you actually play mini-games of noughts and crosses in effect. So you can see the guys here have got these meeples that they've got. They're placing these onto the buildings they want to take from the center. If you manage to do a line of buildings, you effectively get a scoring bonus that you're able to use. So yeah, it's one of those things of, do you draft the building you need that synergizes with your tableau, or do you want to win that noughts and crosses mini game to get an extra scoring bonus, things like that. So lovely little decisions there. Wizard's Cup on the end. This is a game from Seiji Kanai. Does that name ring a bell to you, Matt? Do you know Seiji Kanai?
I do, but I don't know where from.
He made a little game called Love Letter. Yes, so quite a famous mini game, as it were, or a micro game.
Yep.
Now, this is one of his next ones. This is a 2-player only game. This is actually an auto battler. So what each player gets, deck of just 18 cards.
Yeah.
You build a mini deck of 5 from these, and then once you've built your deck, you lay them out and you start a battle system, basically. And there are various ways that you resolve the battles. And when you complete that battle, you go on to a second round where you're allowed to shift your deck order up a bit, and also change 1 card out, and then you play again. Very, very quick 10-minute game, and yeah, it's one of those ones where it's best played with the same person repeatedly, because when you play it, say, 5 times over with the same person, you start a meta game starts to develop. And you start to think about, well, they put this in their deck last time, so I need to have this to counter it. But what order are they going to put the deck in, and blah, blah, blah. It's that kind of game.
Okay,
so
that's perfect for us then.
Yeah. It's that sort of game. Focus is a kind of deduction game. So each player is going to have something that looks a little like this. They have a card in a grid that is their card. And what you do, and each of you has this, and it's a cooperative game. So what you're going to do is take cards away from the grid bit by bit that clue your opponent into what you have. So perhaps your picture is a gun, for example. You need to get your opponent to know that your clue is the gun, your picture is the gun. And maybe on that there's a knife, and you think, okay, if I take the knife, I'm cluing in that maybe it's a weapon, you know? So you take the knife away, and at the end of the game, ideally what's happened is you've just left your 2 cards on the grid, and then you reveal, and if you've done that successfully, you win the game. So it's very, very breezy, lovely little co-op. You can see these guys are setting up for another game. So we have Flow here, and Flow is a new cooperative game. This is based on a movie called Flow, and it's just won. Some people might recognize this because it's just won Best Animated Feature Film at the Oscars. So literally just picked that up 2 weeks ago. But the game has you, and the film itself, about a 90-minute long film with 0 dialogue, and it follows these animals in a post-apocalyptic world. But unlike your typical Pixar thing, they're not talking. It's all just 0 dialogue in the game. But what the game has you do is trying to save these animals and get them back onto the boat into the center. And this is semi-real time, I'd say. And the reason for that is you do take it in turns, taking tiles from here to try and connect the animals back to the boat.
Yeah.
However, you have a timer on the go. It's a minute long. And every time that timer goes off, a tidal wave wipes out some of the tiles that are on the board. So you lose some of them. What's lovely about the game is you can start playing with non-gamers, with kids, etc. It's just by playing that system. Oh yeah, you can see the guys have set their timer up here.
Oh yeah.
Now you can play with kids, non-gamers, etc. with that basic system. But there are other cards you can deal in or advanced variants that add all sorts of extra difficulties. So one, for example, takes 3 of the routes onto the boat away. One of them has extra obstacles that just sit on the map and you can't go through. Stuff like that. So lots of extra things, and you can choose your difficulty level depending on how many of those difficulty cards you deal into the game.
So it's like those old computer games where you had like a pipe of water and you've got to get it.
Yeah, you're trying to get it to connect, but then with the timer going off, and this is about to happen, so we might see this take place here. Here we go. Okay, and now that timer has gone off. Da da da. Okay. Yep. So they're going to roll the dice here.
Yeah.
And this could, depending on the numbers, you'll see there's numbers on the edges.
Oh, I see.
Oh no, look at this. Ouch. Yep. So that's what's happening. Wow. And the game runs out, the game ends when all those tiles run out. So you're on a ticking time bomb to try and get those animals back. So yeah. Final game I'll show you guys, or final single game I'll show you guys is MicroMacro Kids.
Yeah.
Everyone knows MicroMacro at this point, right?
Yeah. You
guys know MicroMacro. So yeah, this is a search and find game where you get various cases in the box and you solve them. There's kind of a narrative structure to the cases that you solve by finding things in a Where's Wally style fashion on the map. Yeah. The original MicroMacro, lovely kind of illustrations and fun art and everything. Parents picked it up, and some of them might have complained because there's a few questionable bits of content in there.
Understand.
Lots of murder, a little bit of drug abuse, things like that happens in the game. It is Crime City.
Yeah.
So to counteract that, we've now got MicroMacro Kids. Same great gameplay. What I love about this is they haven't dumbed down gameplay at all.
Good.
Same great gameplay. Difficulty of the cases is still the same, and yet all they've really done is change the narrative structure so that instead of doing some of the, instead of trying to solve murders, you're helping a lost dog get back to its owner, things like that. So all the MicroMacro you love, but just with a more family-friendly theme.
Indeed.
Yeah. So yeah, and I also just wanted to introduce Kiwizou, who are our new publisher, Parisian publisher, who are fresh to the market. It's basically specialising in children's games, and they're doing everything right in that sense. So what they've done is they've taken designers who are known for great board games. So we have, for example, Potion Express here is designed by Theo Riviere. Theo is known for probably his most famous game in recent years is Sea Salt and Paper.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So he's a very accomplished designer, and set them the challenge of making great kids games.
Yeah. Okay.
Now combining that with artists who are famous for doing children's books. So you can see that kind of children's book style.
Yeah, I really like that.
These are for as young as 3+, these games. So this is a great new range of games. They're very good at dumbing down rule sets so they're accessible without dumbing down the game. So much in, we've got a family-friendly hit, Stomp the Plank, that you guys will have seen before.
Yeah.
What those games do really well is, I think, there's a magic moment when a kid's game, when the adults want to come and play it by themselves. They don't care if the kids are there or not. And Stomp the Plank does that very well, and so do these games, which has been great. So we've got 4 games that have come from Kiwizou. I'll say top tier designers. They're rigorously tested as well, so they've put them through the work with different kids and families to make sure the game is refined to a point that everyone's having fun all the way through. Often sharp and short. Forest First here is a race game that's just 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got a co-op one called Mission Savannah as well. So these are all hitting the market as well this month. You'll see them in various stores as well. So yeah. that's kind of a nice little tour. Obviously, there's always more, but it's like
yeah.
We're
We're here all day, otherwise.
Yeah, no.
Well, thank you, mate. That's
Thank you, Matt.
Whistle-stop
Yeah.
tour of your AireCon booth.
Hey, no, it's been a pleasure. It's I'm just about holding on here on Sunday. Boys
you'll
still
be
going,
fine,
but we're there.
Yeah.
Good. Was there anything you liked most of what you saw?
Oh, I like the new Cyclades.
Yeah.
That looks really nice.
Yeah.
But Gwent as well.
Gwent as well.
I would imagine
As a
that's
big
going
Witcher
to be
fan. Yeah, that's going to be great. Yeah.
I even played the standalone game for a while as well. So.
Ah, nice. Yeah, the app. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, I'll see you guys at UKG as well.
We will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forward to it a
If
lot.
people want to go online and find all your stuff,
Yeah.
Rob, where should they go?
So we've got our website, HachetteBoardGames.co.uk.
Yeah.
Then there's various social media links on there to save you the effort of kind of giving you all of them. But yeah, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on everything.
Everywhere the cool kids are.
Everywhere the cool kids are. Yeah, I try to be cool on TikTok. I don't think I'd pull it off,
Yeah.
I will admit.
I did try for a while.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think I'm the right age range for TikTok.
Yeah. I think that's how I'm feeling as well. So it's I'm greying a little too much for that.
Indeed.
But I do my best.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's it. So thank you very much for having me on the show.
No
guys.
worries.
Yeah.
Everything will be in the video description. I'll stick all your links down below.
Awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Thanks
thank you
everyone for
guys.
watching, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon, folks.